Welcome back, it's Wednesday again, which means it's time for another Star Trek product review video. This week it's going to be part 3 of my 4-part look at a book called Star Trek The Next Generation 365 by Paula M. Block and Terry J. Erdman. Last week I covered seasons 2 and 3, and it's time for season 4. This was the new writer-producer, Jerry Ryan, and this was the first episode, The Best of Both Worlds Part 2, which is a direct sequel to the cliffhanger finale from the previous season when Captain Picard was turned into a Borg and forced to fight the Federation, suddenly human. This is one of the dumbest episodes ever. Brothers. You can see Brent Spiner playing 3 different characters, sometimes in the same frame, like this one. So that had to be a really interesting shoot. Family. An episode where Picard went back to Earth to recover from his Borg incident. Now, this is Remember Me, one of my favorite episodes, where Beverly Crusher was trapped inside a warp bubble. Legacy, one of the meh episodes with Tasha's sister, a reunion. The first episode where we've seen Mr. Worf's son, Alexander, and the death of his lover, Future Imperfect. This was again one of the fun episodes. Gene Roddenberry was still going to the set. Final mission, where we lost Wesley Crusher because Will Wheaton decided to leave the show. The Loss, where Troy lost her telepathic abilities, Data's Day. This was quite an unusual episode, but still really interesting. Now the Wounded, the episode which introduced us to the Cardassians. Devil's Due, one of the recycled episodes originally planned for Star Trek Phase 2. Clues, an interesting mystery show. First Contact, no, not the movie, but the episode. Galaxy's Child, and here we finally see again some storyboards from this episode, done by Mr. Dan Curry, or Curry, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name correctly. These are the little space creatures, the babies. Mother creature. Now, Night Terrors. That was again a fun episode. They tried to do a horror story. Identity Crisis, where Geordi turned into the weird alien. This is a sketch of the station, and this is Brennan Braga, very young Brennan Braga. You can see Geordi's makeup, and the 2 lizards were these 2 DJs. The Nth Degree, where Mr. Barkley became super intelligent. Cupid, the Robin Hood story. That was also one of the more fun episodes. Here we have the drumhead, which was a wonderfully acted, dramatic episode. Gene Roddenberry with the star of the episode. Jonathan Frakes directing Patrick Stewart. Half Alive, one of the sad episodes. The Host, the first episode where we've seen the Trill race, which of course was later more important on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. The Mind's Eye, Geordi was kidnapped and brainwashed into becoming an assassin. In theory, Data fell in love with a human woman. Patrick Stewart directed it. Redemption, episode 100. Another huge Klingon story. And you can see all the special guests they had during the first 100 episodes. And season 5. This was the huge celebration of the 25th anniversary, where also Gene Roddenberry got his own building. This is from Redemption Part 2, the season 5 opener. Darmok, a strange but great episode. Basically Star Trek's version of Gilgamesh. Ensign Row, one of the more important Bajoran episodes. Now, Silicon Avatar. This was the killer crystalline entity. Disaster, a typical battle show, but a great one. The director shows how to help with the birth of a child. The Game, the return of Wesley Crusher, with this kind of a body snatchers story. And you probably know this woman in her first big role. Unification Parts 1 and 2, where Leonard Nimoy came back as Mr. Spock to promote Star Trek 6, and it was also dedicated to Gene Roddenberry, who died a few weeks earlier. Now, vocalist Nichelle Nichols, speakers Ray Bradbury, Whoopi Goldberg, Patrick Stewart. Yeah. Leonard Nimoy and Patrick Stewart. We also get to see Sarek again for the last time. A Matter of Time. The Ready Room painting. Yes, this is actually a beautiful image of the Enterprise in space. I would like to have a bigger version. The Ready Room fish. The Livingstone, if I remember correctly. Pasadena, The Final Frontier. This is about a convention, I think. Space, The Final Frontier from Nestle. New Ground. Worf's son came back. Rabbit on the Bridge. You can see they were having a lot of fun during the filming. Hero Warship, directed again by Patrick Stewart. Violations, the Mind Rape episode. The Masterpiece Society, one of the more boring episodes. Conundrum. This was again an unusual and pretty interesting episode. Power play. Yes. Another storyboard page. Ethics, and a wonderful painting of a Klingon, including his anatomy. Again done by Mr. Dan Carey. The OUTCAST, the first gay episode. Cause and Effect, a fantastic episode where the Enterprise was destroyed several times. One of my favorite episodes by Brennan Braga. So this is the saucer section of one of the models which were destroyed for this episode. The first duty. This was another Wesley Crusher episode, and another fan favorite. A wonderful morality play. Ghost of Living. Another Waxana story, The Perfect Mate, with again some storyboard pages. Again by Dan Curry, or Curry probably, sorry. And this is a comparison of the makeup of the bride with makeup of Jadzia Dex from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And a description of a deleted scene which we now have seen on the Blu-ray, thankfully. Imaginary Friend. This was another attempt of an horror story. Borg. Another great Borg story. And also a morality tale. The next phase, yeah, this was kind of fun. They play with the afterlife thought, and of course the Inner Light, one of the best episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation, where Picard had an alternate life on a different planet. Time's Arrow Part 1, where Mr. Data traveled to the 19th century and met two very important English writers. American writers, of course. And this is, of course, season 6, where they introduced Deep Space Nine, both the station and the show. So season 6 and season 7 will be covered in the final part of this review, which will be up next week. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this little video, hit that thumbs up button, and feel free to watch any of the previous videos you can find on my channel. So thank you very much for watching again, and see you next week. Bye.